met JayZ. He was just awesome. Okay, again, just like everything I needed him and wanted him to be, because I looked up to him, so I still do. It's the Grammys, and so me, of course, being so awkward. I'm like, Jay, because you're Jay, and now I'm Jay, and then Sean, because you're also Sean Carter. So that was my opening line.
Off to a good start.
Yeah, to him. Then he goes, yo, man, you met B? I went, have I met B for Beyonce? And he went, what'd you just say, man? I went, no, I was the initial B. Does that stand for Beyonce? And he's like, yeah.
Oh, God.
Just like C for cat. Is that what you're trying to say? I was like, no, I'm not. I'm just.
Jay Sean's Basement Banter.
All right, boys. All right, boys.
Go in. Not so much basement, but more bedrooms. Bedroom banter.
Bedroom. Okay, yeah. This is bedroom banter, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of Basement Banter called. You know what we never really actually discussed is it's called Basement Banter, but the truth is none of it has ever been shot in a basement. Even when we were doing the ones at in LA, wasn't a basement. This is not my basement. It's got a ring to it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Off the tongue.
Yeah. And when I was doing my downstairs where all my plaques are, that's actually my basement. And that's where I was thinking of doing this podcast, but we never did. I ended up doing it from my living room. So again, sort of giving away all this information, just like,
behind the scenes.
I think sometimes I do get a little bit nervous that we're sort of destroying the illusion. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they want to believe. No.
The sequins and the smoke in the mirrors.
Yeah. And then we just ruin it all. I'm like, kind of like the time when, let's talk about, first of all, let's just let people know what's going on, where we are, why we're doing it this way. Okay. We are Zoom recording, boys. This is Todd and Adam and myself. We are now doing the podcast via Zoom because we thought that quarantine was probably going to be over by now.
Because why wouldn't it be?
Yeah. And we're what are you guys, 4 months in now?
About that.
4 months into this. How are you boys feeling? Because like you guys, I'm married, I got my kids here, I'm all right. What about you guys? What's your sort of quarantine experience been like, Adam?
Well, we were just talking about that before we started. It's a very strange situation because, like at first I think everyone had that same thing. Like, it's not going to change that much for me. Like, I'm going to watch some shows. I'm going to, catch up on things that I've been putting off or whatever. But now, 4 months in, there's that kind of feeling of, not saying anything profound here. It's like this kind of not hopelessness, but it's like, when's this shit going to end, man? Like we just had the fourth, and like my fourth was hanging out with 4 or 5 people. And God forbid if you're a single guy like myself and Todd, it's just like, we ain't meeting any new people at any time soon.
So Todd, you tell me. Let's say, imagine California's like, everything's open now. All the bars, all the restaurants. And, you currently don't have a girlfriend, do you?
No.
Right. And we've had some fairly awesome nights out, haven't we, Todd?
Oh, yeah.
Wrestling on the side. You want to talk about tackling our friends on the sidewalk? 3 a.m. outside of Wendy's? Do you want to talk about that or no?
No, that was.
I think you've said enough. I think you've painted a picture.
So let's imagine everything's open. And you want to talk to the ladies. What is run me through that? How's that going to happen? What's going on there? Are we mentioning COVID? Are we just are we not?
Yeah,
what's going on?
We got these masks on, so you don't know
that ruins it.
How people look. I started to tell
benefit for ugly people though.
Yeah,
hidden benefit. If all you can see is this, I mean, wow. you may have 50% upped your game.
But listen, it's one of those situations where you're like, all right, what am I going to do? Like, yes, everyone's going to be nervous, but okay, if you're wearing masks, that's already awkward. But then you start drinking, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the biggest problem is alcohol. It's just there's no way you can social distance with alcohol.
No.
Once you're once you're getting it in, there's no social distancing, and then you're making bad decisions.
Well, because you're not thinking with this anymore. Yeah.
Exactly. So then, of course, the horniness of being trapped for 4 months is coming out, and then you don't know who you're getting in bed with. You have what do you do? You don't present a fucking card. I've been tested.
That's coming. You know that's coming. You know that instead of like just being on your phone, like on the Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, it's gonna have like, this person has the antibodies and da da da. Like you're gonna up your rate. In fact, I was thinking like the only original chat up line that you could give a girl right now on one of these dating apps is also sounds quite insidious, as like, do you want to stick something hard and stiff down your throat and wait for 2 weeks?
He's been waiting for that one. You've been waiting.
Got it written down.
Oh, man.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Seriously?
When did you write that?
Oh, that's been in the back of my mind since this whole thing started. But as it would be if I also stuck that swab down my throat.
Say it again.
On these dating apps, you now have this weird, creepy option of, are you ready to socially distance date? Swipe up. You swipe up and it gives you like, do you want to send an audio message? Do you want to do a video date? I'm like, no, I don't want any of this.
Wait, this is great. I don't know about, because obviously I don't have any.
Yeah, obviously you don't.
So tell me again, what's going on? They've added a new feature.
There's several COVID-friendly features. There's literally, I think Bumble has one where you can be like, so what are you looking for right now? Are you looking for social distance dating? Are you looking for let's meet at the park? I'm like, or video chat only. I'm just like, it's becoming like, what's it like?
How do you social distance date? That's insane.
It's the antithesis of what dating is.
Yeah,
like,
you can't. That's stupid. That's just like, I mean, okay, well, it's not stupid. You could go for dinner and, you cross the table. But then, I don't know, the whole thing's complicated. I mean, why don't they just do this? Why don't they test you? For example, I went to my barbershop is open. I can't go in without having my temperature read into my barbershop. So surely if you just let people in to bars and restaurants that have had their temperature checked, isn't that at least, I mean, isn't that at least sort of taking away some of the...
Probably. I mean, I would imagine that's probably been accounted for in some way, shape or form, but it is strange how, I mean, I don't...
Everybody in, that's what my question is.
But the thing is, unlike look, we're both English, and we're seeing now back in England that Saturday was when Super Saturday, like bars and clubs were opened again with social distancing, which didn't happen. Yeah. And so many other shopping and restaurants and stuff were opened. But yeah, like I'm sure people are taking that into account. But in this country, at least, not to be disparaging America, but like because from state to state, people take it less and more seriously. You look at Arizona, look at Florida, look at Texas. They're seeing these huge spikes and changes because people are so resistant to masks and temperature checks and being government invading their life.
Did you see this the video of some of the Americans talking about why they don't want to wear the mask, and a lot of it religious, like overly. Did you see that video? Like,
I've seen
this
several.
Is not the way it is supposed to be. This is not how we are supposed to breathe.
Yeah, freedoms, government impinging upon people's civil rights. I mean, Todd, as an American, you're an American. Like, I don't even know what state are you from originally.
I'm from California.
Oh, you are from California.
Yeah.
And so the groovy, the far out, the cool state. But it's just like, if you look at some of the other, the Midwest and Texas and Florida, really opposed to the government getting involved in any aspect of their life. And that seems to how we end up with this kind of disparity of like, do we wear the mask or not?
Yeah, I'd say, this country, I've always been on the West Coast and extremely liberal. But just, the country as a whole has a lot of different views. So there isn't one consistent narrative. It's like you got one state thinks this, drive a few hundred miles this way, and you're in basically a different world in a sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tricky times, man.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of tricky times, what's it been like for you, Jay? Like, you're not only a parent in lockdown, but you're a performer in lockdown. This must be like the longest time it's ever been for you. It probably is since you started this path.
Yeah, it is. So let's think, 17 years. Most of the time I would say I average at least once every 2 weeks, I'd be on a plane somewhere. And this is the longest I've been, away from the stage. The longest I've been, it's just been grabbed away from us without any notice. I was actually talking to some of my performer friends about this. And, you know, a lot of people we can't work from home the way that a lot of people can. We just can't. And there's ways that we can do things. There's ways that we can sort of still touch base with our fans and sort of, you know, but the bulk of what we do, the experience is just not the same. I don't know, virtually, unfortunately, as it is in real life. So it's a tricky one, but I think, to be honest, we're going to have to figure it out. I think online shows are going to be the best we have, right? It's just going to be sort of the best we can get for now. And I think that's it. We're already sort of working on trying to put something together, actually.
Oh, really?
Online, yeah, for the fans. So
something you can talk about, or?
Yeah, I mean, kind of this. Yeah, I can. So obviously, like what we're doing right now with Basement Banter is really fun for me. It's a way, it's different because I'm able to connect to my audience in a way that they haven't seen before. And a lot of the feedback that I'm getting is they're really getting to know who I am as a person, because, you know, music is actors and musicians. Very, very funny thing. You know, we play roles, right? And as a musician, I'm playing a role in every song. I'm playing a different role. One song, I'm a romantic. The other song, I'm heartbroken. The other song, you know, whatever. It's all different stories, isn't it? But it's not who I am. It's just a character I'm playing in every single song, much like an actor. We don't know what these guys are like in person at all. Haven't you sometimes been surprised when you go to like an actor's Instagram page and you see that, oh, geez, I actually didn't think you'd be anything like this?
Well, you actually brought up for the first time when a couple of episodes ago, that guy from You, was it You or whatever? Yeah.
Super serious, big time. You know, I mean, he's an activist and he's a philanthropist and all sorts. But again, you know, of course you don't get to know anybody through TV, and unless you hear them in interviews. And I don't know who's going around Googling YouTube interviews of their, you know, it's just, unless you really, really are interested. I was watching this documentary about the cast of Friends the other day, and they were talking about how they put the show together and how they cast everybody and this, that, and the other. So it was very, very early days interviewing Matt LeBlanc and Jennifer Aniston. And bro, have you ever, well, you probably have because you're kind of geeky like that. Okay, have you ever heard Lisa Kudrow speak normally in an interview?
Yeah, she doesn't sound like Phoebe at all.
Of course she doesn't, right? But I don't know, and I don't think I've ever seen her in any other movie, so I don't know that actress for anything other than goofy, silly Phoebe. And it was the first time I heard her speak, and I was like, damn, like if these people had like Matt LeBlanc, again, if you haven't seen anything but Friends, imagine that. Imagine trying to shake that off. Everybody just thinking you're just like a you know.
Dumbass.
But that's why I loved Episodes, honestly.
Yeah, that was an amazing show.
Episodes were so good. But this has been a way of me being able to connect with my fans in a different way, for them to get to know me and you guys, of course, you know. So in that sense, the quarantine has been fun. It's okay for me. I've been, you know, I have this at least, you know. Outlets.
Actually, to that end, like I know you've talked about doing a podcast for years, and, you know, so it was weird that obviously it started just before this, like it didn't come about because of COVID. So like, you know, has there been, you touched upon it earlier, like this is a way of fans have seen you or learning stuff about you that you not normally got a chance to put out there. Like, why has that been important to you?
Because I think that we are in a day and age now where you can see and hear everything. There's no hiding behind anything much anymore. If it is, it's an insanely laborious task to try to literally put on an act when Insta stories and Facebook you might as well just be you, is what I'm saying. Otherwise, stay off social media because you're going to reveal too much.
It's harder because it's like, you know, I think Melanie said it, Melanie Fiona, in an episode we did previously, like, there was that time, or you had that great anecdote that you can't just, you know, you couldn't just text Michael Jackson, and now, you know, you or any celebrity these days, you can just be like, hit them up a DM. And that is a change in the entertainment industry, that we're not creating characters anymore. You know, we're not creating like almost like a Lady Gaga. Like, because like when she first came out, remember the meat dresses? Can you do that anymore?
No, I don't think so, which is probably why she's not. And if you think about it, what's happened, and it's happened very quickly. If we think about it, right? And think about that, man, it's mad. An app and technology has changed personalities. 100%. Let's be honest about that. Your average Joe now is super confident behind a camera on their Insta stories. Okay, doing commentary. They've all become TV presenters. The average Joe. Okay, so I'm hearing blah blah blah, and right, they're so confident. And it's the app that brought that out, and it's technology that brought the selfie cam, brought that out of them. It's literally affected people's personalities.
Yeah.
So if you look at someone like Lady Gaga, you're saying who? The Weeknd?
Yeah, he didn't show his face for years. So you're hearing this music and you're like, who the fuck is this person?
Genius.
I'm wondering if that could happen nowadays. You just hear this cool song and no one knows who this person is.
Maybe
well, yeah,
not.
Of course. Sick Kick. Let's talk about Sick Kick. Of course.
Actually, yes. It's definitely, you have a song.
Perfect little segue there into my new single. Yeah, it's so Sick Kick is, Marshmallow. We have a couple of these people who sort of wear the mask, and you don't know what they really look like. Of course, I do know what Sick Kick looks like because I've worked with him now and met him in person. But, I think there's something very sacred about having that at this time and age where everything is just available for everyone and they know every little bit about you. But I'll be honest with you, man, it's allowed me to relax. Because during the quarantine, initially I was worried about, oh man, the usual stuff, right? I'm not going to be able to get my hair cut, but I still want to kind of be on camera. I still want to do my IG lives. I don't want to look crazy. And then I was like, dude, everyone looks crazy right now.
Right now.
No, so it's okay. It's just all right, and we're all humans. And now, to be honest, man, it's really because I've been in the industry for so long. We're so used to having makeup before we go on an interview. We're so used to perfect lighting. We're so used to all of this stuff in studios that, because God forbid a celebrity look like shit at 6 o'clock in the morning when you're at the radio station. God forbid they're just, they might have not had much sleep last night or they've just come off a plane. But again, I don't think people pay attention to that anymore. I don't think people are nitpicking as much anymore. I think if somebody saw a picture of, I don't know, we said Jennifer Aniston, let's say Jennifer Aniston, and she didn't look absolutely perfect, I think people are more forgiving nowadays. What do you guys think?
I agree.
Right?
Well, certainly your favorite category in, is it People or Us magazine? Celebrities, they're just like us. Now they really fucking are.
Yo, but can we talk about those videos, bro? Did you see of course we all saw the I take responsibility.
Yeah, there was that one. Obviously Gal Gadot, the
Dude,
Imagine.
Imagine, but dude, my favorite, some of them understood and you could clearly see that they knew they'd been asked by somebody, hey man, could you just sing this one line? This is your line, just sing it. And they're just literally there going, imagine all the people. And then that's it, send it off. But a couple of them
went in,
took it very seriously and gave it their best performance, ad-libs, all sorts. This is my moment. I'm not just an actor. I can also sing.
Well, what gets me is like people still, this is a person that worked in the advertising industry for years or still does. There's so many songs that are used in adverts that sound beautiful and appropriate that are completely inappropriate. Imagine is a song about communism, as about, not having no possessions, no religion, but it sounds, imagine all the people. It sounds beautiful, but listen to the lyrics.
It's just so corny. I think honestly, just like it's the fakeness of like, the performative empathy and whatever it is that they're feeling, a guilt and all this admission of, you can see through it. And again, that's what I'm saying. I feel like we are in a day and age where we can't pull the wool over people's eyes anymore.
No.
They can see through it. It's too easy to tell when you're being fake, to tell when you're reading lines, to tell when you're been told to say something. And I think that the people who are really resonating with the average Joe are people who are just
who aren't doing that. Yeah.
Who aren't doing that. People who are just like, yo, man, this is me now. I don't care. If you don't like me now, I guess that I'm screwed. And it's okay. I'll take that because at least I know that the people who are still following me are genuinely into me, right? And I think that that's a really cool thing rather than putting on an act the whole time.
It's kind of freeing. It must be freeing for you as a performer.
It is, you know, and I think that ultimately this is the only thing it's like dating, let's be honest. When you're dating somebody, you're putting on your best face for God knows how many weeks.
Here's the resume or CV, depending on what country, of who I say I am. Yes. And in about 3 months, you're going to meet the real me. Who
I really am.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's so true. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
As a performer, it's exhausting. Has there ever been a time in your career prior to this where the image of the sexy, pouty Jay Sean has been a burden?
Well, no. So check this, right? So I look back at those videos of me doing that, and I laugh my ass off to the point where I don't want to do a music video where I do that shit anymore. It's corny as fuck. And it's only because I'm older now that I'm looking at it, I'm laughing. But at the time, I don't think it was, because you got to remember.
Different times.
Different times. Things that are corny in 2020 were just the norm. Everybody was acting like that and doing that and spinning around in music videos and pointing at the camera like, hey. Yeah. We were all doing that shit. So nobody was standing out from anybody else. It was just what you did. It was the way that you performed. Just like there's ways of singing that back in the day. Who sings like that anymore? Who croons like back in the Frank Sinatra? People don't sing like that anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So styles change. And so the way of performing has changed. And I feel like the generic music video is a music video now is almost a parody of itself. You can be like, there's the hot chicks, there's the rented cars, there's the blah blah blah, there's the pointing at the camera. You know, I mean, it's so easy to make it. It almost is like, wait, is this a joke or is this a real music video now? So we have to be a bit more creative, I think, now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, case in point, I mean, we were talking just before we started about like where the entertainment industry may pivot. You know, is it going to be like, better streaming, better movies, cinematic movies at home, first run? Is it going to be, VR, like Todd was saying about, Oculus and like virtual reality concerts? So you're going to put the headphones on and you're going to be at one of your shows? Or is it going to be something like, instead of sending performers around, like holograms, actually holograms and music videos, we actually,
oh my
we
God.
almost beat the famous Tupac Coachella hologram. This is just our luck. We actually we made that video and put that video through post. And by the
Sex 101.
Sex 101. Yeah, sorry, Sex 101. We if you haven't seen the video, halfway through, Tiger appears as a hologram in the music video.
I do love when Adam has to explain these things, Todd. Like he makes somebody's cool rap name like Tiger sound like an animal.
Trevor, like Trevor.
Yeah.
I always wondered with the
Tiger
British accent, why do you put R's on the ends of things?
Yeah, that's why. Did you hear the way he said Tiger? Like I said, he made it sound like an...
Well, how should I say it?
I don't think he's ever been... Tiger.
Pizza. China.
Pizza.
Well, it's like there's the whole thing of like pasta and pasta. Like over here, people go like, have a bowl of pasta. I'm like, no, pasta is who gives me my prayers. Pasta is what I eat with spaghetti and bolognese and
the cancel culture thing it's scary. It's weird. And I think for a stand-up comedian, probably one of the hardest times to try to make jokes about anything.
Terrifying.
It's just really hard. I think a lot of this comes from. Literally comes from I think there's a lot of conformity. I think that people are conforming because they don't want to look like the one who doesn't follow popular opinion and to be honest, it's harder to have to defend yourself it's easier to go with the crowd. You know, if somebody gets canceled because they said something or some tweet, and then, you know, you're the one who stands up for them and goes, actually, I don't believe, now you're under fire.
Yeah.
So it is so hard. It's hard. What do? You just, I don't get it. It's really difficult.
Yeah, it must be. I mean, it must be a minefield for any celebrity. I mean, but again, as we circle back, that's, I think, how you end up with like Aaron Paul and some of those other guys in that, you know, I take responsibility. Like Joe Rogan on his podcast recently, he was just like, he goes, look, I know what happened. He goes, then I like a lot of these people. I like a lot of the product they put out. Like some of them I really respect and love. But they've been stuck in quarantine for 3 or 4 months. They're not getting the attention they're used to getting. They're not going out to these parties. They're not going out to press junkets and interviews. And they think, oh, fuck, how do I
stay relevant?
How do I get out there? Hey, Aaron, I don't want to focus on him. It's just I love Aaron.
It's because he's funny. I take responsibility. Have you seen who was it? Was it Andrew Schultz who goes, how about you take a fucking sip of water, dude? I take responsibility.
Yeah. I'm gonna lube up the old throat there, Aaron. But you know, like clearly someone's gone to them and gone like, this is a good idea. You need to jump on this. And their publicist has gone, yeah, just do it. You know,
what's the worst that can happen? And you don't know how it's going to be pieced together as well. That's the thing, because it's almost, if it's just you saying your line,
yeah, might be fine.
It might be fine, but when you see it pieced together with everybody, it's like the Imagine thing again. Going back to that, I'm pretty sure if they told them there's going to be about 50 of you and you're all going to be in a different key,
yeah,
because
all over the place,
they're not even in the they're not in the same key. How did they think that was going to work?
I don't know. Terrible.
Fucking horrible. Anyway, so yeah, what do you do? You know, you just try to, what do we do?
But that's how you end up with, do you remember that Pepsi commercial, the Kendall Jenner one?
Oh God, that's so bad, man.
I know. When you just don't have anyone to go, wait, just stay away from this topic completely. Yeah. Like, just this isn't the time to advertise soda or to piggyback on the back of, you know, protests.
Do you think? I think everyone. See, I'm very lucky. I count myself lucky that I've got a really good group of friends. You know, you guys obviously included in terms of, even though I work with you, but I consider you my friends. And because of that, because you're not on my payroll, you're my buddies. You can give me an honest opinion about shit. But imagine these people who everyone who's around them is on their payroll. They don't want to lose their job. They've got no one to bounce off and go, hey guys, so I was thinking about doing this. Good idea? And then literally everyone's like, sure,
yeah, great.
No, do it. No, it would be great if you know. And in fact, they need a friend who goes, you're going to look like a wanker, mate. Don't do that. Terrible idea. You know, I don't know, man. I feel bad for those people who don't have that person.
Well, because it goes back to like those sycophantic kind of like, I mean, can we talk about like the entourage that surrounded Cash Money, where there was the artist and there was like the Birdmans and the Slims, but there was always 20, 30 people with them that I was like, and what do you do? And it just seemed to be that all that was there, they were kind of to agree and to roll deep, you know, to have a big crew with them. Like, is that, you know? I think,
you know, I think that that's hip hop culture. A lot of the time it's their boys that they've grown up with. It's just like, if I make it, we're all coming, we're all rolling. You know what I mean? All those parties that we dreamt of going into, we're going to throw them now rather than sort of be invited. We're going to be the ones who actually put on those parties. And it's the whole crew rolls together, you know? But
we still do that. And we don't, you know, you've always said in interviews, the biggest thing, like, you know, Oasis, Prit Pal, Amun, Range, you know, they just hold your feet to the flames. Like, that was shit.
yeah, exactly. I'm very lucky that I have that, but also, you know, I think if you don't have a purpose, you know, then you're just gonna go along and do everything, and you know, and I think that I'm very lucky that I found fatherhood and marriage. I think that was really important for me, because now my purpose is my family. You know, I think if you're just some dude who's growing old in Hollywood, it's a really scary place to be.
Thanks, Jay.
Oh no, I don't mean in the I don't mean literally in the town of Hollywood residing. I'm talking about if you're a celebrity.
I know.
There's no way to gracefully, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
You probably take on any role just to stay famous and stay relevant. You do anything, you're probably doing too much surgery because you don't want, and like I say, it's very difficult to age gracefully in Hollywood as well, right? Like 100%. If you think it really is. And I think the people who've sort of got it together is probably the people who are like value their family and stuff like that more so than they do fame or staying relevant and this, that, and the other. And I think those kind of qualities, are really, really important. Well,
so during this lockdown, as you've said, I think in one of your lives or when me and you've been chatting on the phone, it's like, that has become the focus. Like you've never been around your family or kids for this continuous length of time. Like, not that you're not either around, but you're here in a continuous way. Like, what's been something that's been,
my daughter,
yeah.
Ava is the funniest, right? So she keeps obviously everybody who knows Ava now knows what she's like and knows our relationship. Just the other day, it was so good. There was, it wasn't just the other day. I'm sorry. It was like sort of talking about the beginning of quarantine. When all of those fucking ABC and Fox and everyone was doing their little from home concerts, right? Everybody was doing it. They did it. Everybody jumped on it real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So now some of these performances that were coming back were a little too perfect. And I remember, Todd, I think I even hit you up and I was like, bro, like, how are they recording this? Because they're meant to be at home. Their vocals sound perfect and they don't seem to have a microphone. So they're clearly lip syncing to a pre-recorded. Okay. So anyway, this whole thing, and I'm just sort of going off trying to figure it all out. So I think Ava must have heard me on the phone sort of going, how are they doing this? Or is this real? Is this really live? So anyway, she's like, Dad. I was like, what? She's like, so you're really not enjoying the show, huh? And I was like, well, no, I am, but I'm just curious as to how they filmed it. She's like, yeah, but I heard you sort of complaining about like that they're not doing a good job or whatever. And I was like, honey, I'm not complaining. She's like, I guess you're not famous enough for them to have asked you to sing, are you, Dad?
Oh my gosh.
Just gunshot. Oh. Just she goes,
thanks, kid.
So in her head, she's interpreting, is this me being mad that I haven't been asked to be on this show?
Wow. Oh my God.
So there I am explaining to I'm like, no, I'm not mad that, listen, you don't understand, all right? What would you know about audio? You don't know anything about audio recording techniques. So just don't worry about it. But it was great again, but having her around, what a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Yeah. Those videos you've been putting out, or there was one you dropped this morning where Ava's take is genius.
Tongue flew.
Yeah.
I died.
She was so... dude, remember we talked about I wanted to put Ava's take in these podcasts.
Yeah. We should.
We could easily. I mean, look, I'm just, the more she's growing up and the more she's seeing and of this peculiar world that we live in now, she is at that age to take it all in and then decide what she thinks of it, and it's so precious to get that documented now, because I don't remember, my mom and dad have zero video footage of me and my thoughts of the world when I was a kid. There's videos of me, I'm sure, just doing dumb kid shit that kids do, but not one where they asked me, what are my feelings about this? How do I feel about this? I think that is precious because kids, they see this world through up until a certain age, right? They start
compartmentalizing it. But right now, she's a raw honesty filter.
Exactly. So it's really fun. I'm really enjoying sort of just getting her take on a lot of things. But yeah, I mean, I think that's something I've really appreciated about this whole period. And I think across the board, if you were to ask people what are the positives of being in quarantine, first of all, we're just skipping over the fact that you're half the size you were in the LA videos. Okay, sorry.
Well, yes.
Let's just Big
little
you
bit.
up right there, Todd, right?
Or little me up.
Yeah. Very good.
There we go.
No, amazing, bro. See, you took your time. See, that's what I'm saying. You took this time on self-improvement, and that's beautiful.
Yeah, I was chatting to T about it. Like, remember when I spoke to her, I was like, I wish I could.
Tara,
Jay's wife. I wish I could figure out like what it was. Well, I mean, I had several health issues that I've never really spoken about before that I had to address first, and that finally getting those taken care of, that helped a lot. But yeah, it was just in the past 3 or 4 months, I was like, well, how can I better myself? Like, I'm not going to get this time again of, being able to focus just on me.
It. Exactly.
And Jeremy, your manager, and our friends, he put me onto like Grant Matos and his meditations, one in the morning, one in the evening. I try to do those whenever I can. Even T obviously has her meditation stuff as well. I've tuned into a couple of those. But yeah, this has been awesome. Working out and changing the way I am and getting a tattoo. What about you, Todd? What have you been doing outside? Because we were talking about this as people that work in post-production. How's work changed for you? Because actually, fucking forget my weight loss and muscle mass and all the other physical thing. Todd put out you worked on the Will Smith.
Yes.
Come on, let's talk about that.
A little blessing came out of the coronavirus. I have a friend that mixes for Jaden, and unfortunately, Will's old engineer got corona.
Jeez.
And so they asked him if he could recommend someone, and my name came up. And literally within 12 to 18 hours, I'm at Will Smith's house meeting him and his whole family.
Wow.
So Adam, check this out. I'm Todd at the time, is recording me remotely. Now here's an incredible thing that we figured out due to corona. So I'm here in New Jersey in my house. Todd is my engineer who records me usually in LA. So we're obviously in the same room, same studio. And so I have never, ever had to record myself before. I've never had a setup at home where I've had to, because I always just record in LA. That's what I do. I like to go there. I like to write and record in LA and then come back home and switch off. Anyway, so now I'm like, well, we got to figure it out. I've got to have some type of setup. So we managed to figure out a way that Todd can sit in his house and record me while I'm in my basement in New Jersey. So he has remotely taken control of my computer as if he's in the room with me, recording me right there and then. So this whole thing, we're so excited and gassed about this. We're like, whoa, we must be the first people who've ever figured this out. So I'm so excited. I'm like, Todd, this is so amazing. I can't wait to do so much fucking work with you, bro. This is nothing can stop us now. Bring. Hey, man, you want to come and record for Will Smith? Jay, I'm really sorry. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it tomorrow.
Why?
It's just that Will Smith needs it. Will Smith. Yeah, no, you should probably do that. It's probably a big.
Yeah. So Ava was right.
Oh man!
So I got cock blocked by Will Smith. There you go. All right, that's the title of this episode.
I was like, hey, I'm gonna call you in a second, just leaving Will's, and you're like, oh, just Will's.
Yes, Will's. Just Will now, not Will Smith, just Will.
Dude, I was like a jaded ex-girlfriend. I was like, oh, he's just Will now, is he? Is that what you just he's just Will to you now? Is it right? So
that was an incredible track. Like, so wait, you actually went. I mean, obviously,
tell us the experience.
Tell us,
yeah. So it's really cool, but I don't know how much I can talk about it. I had to sign some.
Right. Okay.
But he has a studio set up in his man cave. That way, people aren't going into the house. Joyner Lucas made a song on his last album called Will, which is dedicated to Will Smith. And he made a really cool music video for it as well. And they talked, and Will's like, yeah, I want to get on the remix. So yeah, Joyner has the song on his album called Will. It's dedicated to Will Smith with the really cool music video. And, it was only right, in my opinion, for Will to hop on the remix. And came in and recorded it. We sent it to Joyner. Joyner gave us a thumbs up. And it was pretty awesome. And I'll say from recording Will that he still got it.
Yeah.
He walked in.
He sounded amazing, man. Dude, you did a great job on that as well. You know, because it's not your classic usual Will Smith type of rap delivery. It's, even, what I'm saying about that, right? Because he's quite animated in the way he normally raps. You can hear a lot of his personality. It's like that Will Smith fun personality. And this was a whole different style. And of course, I asked Todd the question that everybody would want to know, right? Like, is he, because to me, Will is one of, like, if I was to say, idol in terms of somebody I would look up to as a celebrity who has just done a fantastic job at being a celebrity as well as being a great human being, dad, husband. He's like all of it. So he's just one of those where you go, oh mate, you fucking, how did you juggle all that and still sort of remain
the top?
Yeah, and still seem like such a humble kind of cool guy. So I asked him then, Todd, you said, right? You said he was just so nice.
Yeah, literally. I mean, starstruck, a little bit, but at the same time, he makes you feel so comfortable. We have regular conversations, Yeah,
that you can't talk about.
yeah.
We just have regular conversations. After I signed an NDA.
Actually, did you watch your buddy Russell Peters on Joe Rogan?
I did. I watched it. Yeah,
that was fucking great.
I didn't see that yet.
It only came out yesterday, but
okay.
There's a fantastic anecdote about Russell going to a party at Eddie Murphy's house where it was just like, and it just reminds me of all the stuff that we keep on talking about here, celebrity stories. I think one of the overarching themes of our podcast is that the people seem to really like the behind the scenes stories, and I'm definitely going to push you on one that the fans have been asking for. That we didn't get to touch on last time, but the Russell Peters story about him hanging out at Eddie Murphy's house with like Chris Rock and Neil Brennan and Tiffany Haddish, and what got me is Russell's response was like, "How the fuck am I here?" Like, and he was like, "Well, we're all comedians," but it's like there's definitely a strata, and
it's nice to know that because again, it doesn't matter who you are, every comedian, not every comedian, every celebrity has another celebrity that they're going to get starstruck by. It's just, even if you're a celebrity yourself, and it might not necessarily be starstruck. I like to use the word awestruck because it's not because you're a star. It's because, for me at least, when I meet somebody who, and I'm just like, oh shit, man, I don't even know how to act. I feel weird right now. And I'm like, why am I? It's because I think that person is so talented that the role and impact they've had on my life is quite overwhelming in that moment that they're now in front of you, right? And that's more the fact, not that like, oh my God, you're famous.
You're not marking out where you're just like, oh my God, can I get your autograph? But actually, to that end, thank you, gods up there. This is the perfect segue. Twice in the Melanie Fiona episode that came out last week, you mentioned a Jay-Z story, and you never started. You went, I've got a great Jay-Z story. And several fans have been like, you've got to tell the story. Please tell Jay to tell the story. So,
God, it's so embarrassing.
The best ones are.
No, it's so bad. Oh, you know what? Okay, so first of all, met Jay-Z. He was just awesome. Okay, again, just like everything I needed him and wanted him to be, because I looked up to him. So I still do look up to him so much. Reason why I started rapping in the first, all that stuff. Okay, so let's just rewind. It's the Grammys. I can't remember which year it was, and just sort of the pre-Grammy ceremony. There's like a kind of hangout, little cocktail hour at the House of Blues for artists and songwriters and producers. Cool. Now, bear in mind, it's pretty early on, me being in America. It's all a bit mental for me. I've had, by that time, Down has already been number one. Do You Remember has been, so I'm killing it. But at the same time, I'm just the Brit in
just
LA.
Jay. Yeah,
and
just
I'm just
Jay.
me. I'm going, fuck me, this is mental. So I'm sitting there, and I'm in the room, and it's a small room, and there's about 100 of us. And of course, they're all the big names, okay? So I'm there, and I'm me being me, having a laugh. I'm going, oh, Rihanna, casual, just there, ordering mojito next to me. Normal, just a normal day. Oh, is that Neo? Just sort of peeking over, so you can say, yeah, that's Neo. Yeah, all right, cool. So now I'm like, this is mad. And so the guy who I was with, but the publicist, he's like, Jay, he's like, I know you're a big JayZ fan. If you wanted to say hi, I could introduce you because I know his publicist. I was like, you know, that would be good. So I go over there, and he's like, JayZ, this is my artist, Sean. And I go, and so me, of course, being so awkward, I'm like, Jay, because you're Jay, and now I'm Jay, and then Sean, because you're also Sean Carter. So that was my opening line.
Off to a good start.
Yeah, to him. And he's just looking at me like, what? And I was like, nice to meet you, man. You know, because again, this came up with stupid, nervous. You know, like how Chandler, that episode of Friends, when he gets so, every time he takes a picture, he doesn't know what to do. And he makes that weird face.
Weird, like, yeah.
So it was kind of like that, okay? So anyway, I start off like that. And then luckily we got into a great conversation. And honestly was having a really, really nice chat with him. And we were talking for a while, okay? And it was going great. And it was very smooth. And I felt like he had almost forgotten about that whole JJ incident in the beginning. Then he goes, yo, man, you met B? I went, have I met B for Beyonce? And he went, what'd you just say, man? I went, no, I was the initial B. Does that stand for Beyonce? And he's like, yeah.
Oh, God.
Just like C for cat. Is that what you're trying to say? I was like, no, I'm not. I'm just. And then, of course, tap, tap. She turns around and it's like a bloody L'Oreal commercial.
Yeah.
It's all slow motion.
Yeah.
And her head,
lights are flickering. Yeah.
and she looks at me straight in my eyes. And I look at her. Now I'm even more of a bumbling idiot. And now I'm like, hello. Wow, like your face is not. And she's like, "Are you Jay Sean?" I was like, "Yes." And she's like, "Oh my God, I hear your songs on the radio all the time." I was like, "No, it's really not. It's very not. It's a nice feeling." I'm having a lovely chat with your husband. Is he your husband or is it fiance? I don't know. Has he proposed? I'm like, "Oh, for fuck, shut up now."
Yeah.
And that's where that sort of was ended, okay?
Yeah, just peaced out.
Yeah. She's like, okay, take care. I was like, yeah.
Bye.
Then I say bye to JayZ, and I
was that the night you also met Russell Brand?
No, did I? I can't fucking. Did I?
I think it was. I think it was the one you told me when he was just like, yeah, this is the old wife, the old ball and chain. It's like, oh hi Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
Yeah.
We'll get onto that one again. I don't even know if I've told the Katy Perry story, but anyway, too many. But so I'm thinking, all right, I go back to my hotel room, and I'm like, I definitely made an idiot of myself. But you know what? He's not gonna remember me. It's not like I'm gonna ever see him again. Fast forward 2 days later, it's the Clive Davis party for the Grammys. Now, this is a very exclusive party, okay? Very tough to get into that one. I've gone for a piss halfway through the ceremony. And as I'm coming out the toilet, JayZ walks in, going to his table. And I'm like, I honestly was like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to keep my head down. I'm going to keep my head down.
Yeah.
But it's awkward because it's sort of that the crowd is narrowing, going into one lane, and I'm almost right next to him now. And sort of give him a little head nod because I also don't want to be rude. I'm like, he's never going to remember me.
No.
And he went, Jay Sean. I was like, hello, here's me. Hello, mate. He goes, you the motherfucker that stole both my names. And I was like, oh, you remember that, do you?
Amazing. You're like, yes, I did.
That's me. And that's the last time I ever met him. Saw him. Or his lovely Beyonce. Dude, what do you do? There was no warning for the Beyonce thing. There was no warning.
No, I've yet to meet a celebrity 99% through you. Like I bump into them every now and again through my other work, but like every A-lister generally has come. I've been in present with is through you.
Right.
One of my favorite anecdotal stories of a friend of mine. He edited or co-edited Lemonade, the Beyonce sort of mega video.
Yeah.
And apparently B is really hands-on with everything she puts out. Yeah, B. Casual. Sorry.
Yeah.
Beyonce Knowles is very hands-on.
Yeah.
with all the stuff that she puts out, so much so that she sits in on edits, she sits in on, you know, mix sessions, everything. She's completely present with her product. And he'd been working for like 2 or 3 days straight, Alex Tedesco, and he woke up, it was about 4 or 5 in the morning, and he passed out on the floor, and he was like, why is there a blanket on me? He went, his assistant editor was like, oh yeah, Beyonce came in to watch the video and thought you looked cold and put a blanket on you.
Wow. That's amazing.
So he never met her, but he just woke up with a blanket that Beyonce put on him while he slept.
See, but that's awesome. I love that.
It's actually a better story.
I love those kind of stories, man. But it's like they say, isn't it? Like, never meet your hero. Like, hope you never meet your heroes, because you're probably gonna fuck it up, or they're gonna fuck it up for you, right? They might let you down. They're not as nice as you thought they would be, or whatever. Or you're just gonna act like a complete plonker. And so that's the JayZ Beyonce story.
I hope that was worthwhile for everyone.
Yeah. Well, we've been rattling on for ages.
We have. Well, I hope. Yeah, same. I think we hit all the topics that he wanted us to hit. So.
Yeah. All right, boys. Well, we have been rattling on for a little while, actually. I enjoyed this.
The first quarantine basement banter. Well, bedroom banter.
Bedroom banter. Let's not confuse people. It's still called basement banter.
It is.
Yeah. But no, wicked. You boys be safe, guys. Thank you for listening or watching. If you're watching, you know what I'm interested
Smash that like button.
Yeah.
Hit subscribe.
Hit subscribe.
Swipe up.
I'm actually curious as to whether more people enjoy listening. I know you boys like to do a bit of both, don't you?
Yeah. Todd, you're the same as me, right? I like if it's a big guest, if it's like a Russell Peters, a Bob Lazar for the UFO guy here, or like, you know, some of the, I want to watch them. I want to see their. But if it's like a Bill Burr who's been on there several times, I'll just listen. You know,
right. So anyway, let us know, guys, in the comments, whatever DMs and all that stuff. Let us know, A, you know, how you feeling and enjoying it, and B, which guests you would like to see, and C, just out of curiosity, whether you guys like to watch it or stream it, because that's just always good.
And we got some really good guests still to come from the previous session, and some really big guests coming on COVID banter. COVID. Peace out, guys. I do. Peace.
Peace.